amazing, man. Now that I'm here, now that we are here, I want to give this guy the proper the same last name. You know, we both had the pink suits on in the picture in the flyer. Is he my cousin or is he my brother? Right? You know, I seen him at the convention and I talked about that and I said what drew me to him was his last name. And this guy is I'm talking about seeing billions in sales in different network marketing companies. 700 million in sales of his own, you know, accord with his partners. Chairman in the charts, chairman 100 actually, right? That's 100,000 a month, family. I don't know what type of you know, information you guys want to receive today, but I'm telling you, this is it. Brandon Boyd, right? Big brother, please, can you give him a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, first of all, grateful to be on. Appreciate you having me on here. So I've got a background of 23 years in the industry. I'm married. I've got 6 kids. You know, a lot of people are just trying to get their own life together, and I'm taking my kids to school, picking them up, taking them to practice and stuff like that, helping them with homework and those kind of things. And I got in the industry of network marketing at 19. And the last time that I had a job was back in 2004. So I only had a job for about 2 years. So it's been 18 years since I had a job. So I've been able to basically take care of my family, my wife. My wife hasn't had to have a job since 2001. So it's one of those things where I really kind of grabbed on to the industry. I had dreams. I had goals. I just needed a platform to make it happen. Went through all the different ranks, all the ups and downs that happen inside the industry as well. There are ups and downs that happen where, you know, you're in a company and eventually that company can go out of business. But I never did give up on my dreams. I knew that it would eventually work, and got aligned with the company I'm with right now just over 6 years ago. It really has been, I'm going to close these blinds real quick just so that the sun's not coming through, but it's really been an amazing experience because I'm now to the point where all the dreams, all the goals that I had, all of them have been accomplished. Every single thing that I put on my goal board, we called it a dream board back then, all of them, every single thing has been accomplished. I've been to 40 countries. I live in the home of my dreams. I got my dream car, got my dream wife. I want to have a dream family. Now, certain days it doesn't feel like a dream family, but depending on how the kids are acting. Yes, but sir. Bottom line is that I get to do what I want to do. You know, I used to use that quote that you want to do what you want, when you want, with who you want, how you want, stuff like that. Well, that's pretty much what I do on a daily basis. I come here because I want to come to my office, you know, and so it's just a great position to be in. So where I'm at now is I really want to help people get to that level as well. So the first thing for a lot of people is I want to get out of debt. Yeah, I want to get a better credit score. Or I want to pay off my house or pay off my cars. I want to be able to, you know, have 3 to 6 months worth of savings and investments and stuff like that. So that's kind of the point I'm at in my career now, is really being able to help other people get to those levels.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Oh man, so much that I want to dig into, right? We're gonna, you know, slowly walk into the process, big bro. You know what I mean? And this is definitely a reading show. So this is not just a network marketing interview. So, you know, top of the morning for sure. Tell us about the beginning paintings of your life, the beginning of Brandon Boyd.
Well, I grew up in upstate New York. My dad was a professor at Cornell. It's an Ivy League school. By the time that I was 8, we started Boyd's Lawn Service, and basically we started mowing. So from 8 till 12, I was mowing about 40 yards a week. And for anyone who's mowed yards, some people today, they have a hard time mowing their own yard. You know, we'd mowed about 40. By the time that I was 15, we were up to about 70 yards a week. So about 40 to 70 yards a week, all the way up till I was 20 years old. So upstate New York for 13 years. We moved to Kentucky when I was 14, and we basically started over with a lawn mowing business there. And so I always kind of had this entrepreneurial spirit in me to do a business, do marketing, advertising, talk to customers and stuff like that. And by the time that I went out to college in Utah, that's actually when I was introduced to network marketing, business, and stuff like that. But that entrepreneurial spirit's always been there. I played sports. I played football, basketball, track, played baseball. So I was always into sports. And the sports taught me leadership, goal setting and stuff like that. That's frankly really helped me out a lot in business in general. So that's kind of a quick background. Upstate New York, Kentucky, and then I've been in Utah now for over 20 years.
Nice. And what did you want to be when you were younger?
Well, first I wanted to be a professional athlete, but I found out when I went to college that probably wasn't going to happen because the people were a lot better than I thought. I thought if you were all state in high school that you could make it. And then when you're all state in high school and then you get to college, you realize all state in high school doesn't go that far. So many good athletes. And so from there, really what I wanted to do was I wanted to be in the fitness industry. So I became a personal trainer. I actually became a part owner of a gym. I used to train people out of that gym. Did really well. I made good money. At my height, I had 55 clients. I was very good with retention. I rarely ever lost a client. But what I found was that doing that wasn't going to get me the kind of money that I was looking for with residuals, because there was no residual with what I was doing, which is the reason why I got into network marketing, was to build something where I could make passive income. And so what happened is little by little, I kind of pulled back from doing fitness to where today I just work out. I go to the gym 5 days a week, sometimes 6. I enjoy health, but it was ultimately just to create a business where I could create the passive income that I was looking for. The ultimate goal was I want to make 6 figures per month. And I got to that. And I frankly didn't really care what it was going to be in, just as long as it was something that I really enjoyed. It just so happened that this was a platform that made it happen.
So hold on, you said 6 days, maybe 5 days a week in the gym. That gotta be like an insane work ethic, from the average person.
Well, if you look at it, it's from 1994 when I started working out till it's now 2022. So you're talking about what, like 28 years or something like that. I think it's year 28. What a lot of people don't understand is since I started at 14, I'm turning 42 in June. I've never stopped one time. I've never had, I've taken a week off, or I don't feel well, or it's this time of season, or we're going on a family vacation. I can tell you on family vacation, I've worked out the whole time. When I was with Jason Brown, who's one of my partners, he and I were in Europe. We were gone for 28 days, 14 countries. I worked out for 27 out of those 28 days while we were out there, exhausted, the middle of the night, getting on trains, working out in the middle of the night if we had to. So fitness is just something I really enjoyed. It really is one of those things that kind of gets me going for the day. And it's really made a difference in my personal life, my business life, and stuff like that. So it really is a passion for me.
Okay. What sport did you fall in love with first? I see you played football and basketball. So
I was a better basketball player, but most of my highlights were actually from football. And the reason why I had more highlights from football is because I played quarterback in high school. I became an all-state high school quarterback. I had 8 school records at the time, which probably most of them have been broken at this point. But I did really well. Those were the 2 sports that I enjoyed the most. It's just, if anything, it's just what I learned from it. It's getting beat up. It's showing up to practice when you don't feel like it. It's pushing yourself beyond what you think you can actually do. I've taken everything I learned from sports and I've applied it into business almost on a daily basis. Almost daily. I am the first one at the building. Now, Dr. Lee, he gets here too. I drop my kids off at school, but I'm almost always the first one at the building. Well, 25 years ago, I was the first one at the high school field house to work out. I was the first one that would show up for practice. And so those habits that I instilled back then, it's like that's the 1990s. like I'm still doing that today. It's being the first one there. It's one of the keys to success is just showing up and showing up early. You don't have to be the best. Frankly, I was not the best athlete. Now my dad says I was, you know, I think I was a really, really good athlete, but what separates so many people is my willingness to just keep showing up. And I knew, kind of like Kobe Bryant did, that the skills would eventually catch up to the work. So you don't have to be the most talented. You don't have to be the best at what you do, the best speaker, the best trainer, the best presenter, and all that stuff. But you do need to make up for those things by showing up and doing it consistently and staying focused. So that they're like, oh, I got a headache, I'm staying home. I didn't miss a day of school for 5 years. I never missed a homework assignment. And so that work ethic of just kind of continuing to go each and every day, I apply that same thing today. There's no stopping. Never going to have a time where it's like I don't feel like doing this or whatever. It's like my life is not based upon how I feel. My life is based upon principles. My life is based upon standards.
Mm.
That's why I do what I do.
Beast mode. Beast mode. Oh man, that was beast mode. I felt like I was in a zone right there when you was talking to me. Like cause I'm always in student mode forever. So that right there was just like, you know what I mean? Amazing. Cats or dogs?
We do have a dog, but that's just because my kids wanted a dog. To be honest, I'm not much of a dog lover. If I had to choose between two pets, it would be a cat, only because they're more easygoing and calm. But my kids wanted a dog, so we do have a dog, and they definitely enjoy it.
Okay. So some people are dog people, cats, you got to get that feeling there.
Most
Reading or audio?
people don't like cats. Most people probably pick a dog, but I because I like to have things kind of clean and orderly and stuff like that, I didn't really want to have animals in the house, but I did it because, my kids really wanted to have a companion with a pet and all that. So I got it for them.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Reading or audio?
I prefer reading, but what I do is I do both. So in my car and at my office, I play audios, but reading for me really makes a difference because when I can see the words on the paper and I can highlight and I can take notes, I retain the information better. When I listen to audios, one of the challenges that I have is it's easy to daydream as you're listening to audios. When I read, I'm typically not going to daydream. I'm focused on the words that I'm reading. So I prefer reading.
Mm. All right. Before we dive even deeper, I want to give you just a huge, shout out. Congratulations for being an author of 8 books. Book number 1, Bankrupt of Abundance, by Brandon Boyd. Book number 2, Lasting Happiness, by Brandon Boyd. Book number 3, Dreams of Steel, by Brandon Boyd. Book number 4, The True Mark of Success, by Brandon Boyd. Book number 5, Love All, Hang with Few, by Brandon Boyd. Book 6, Money, Evil or Good, by Brandon Boyd. Book 7, Daily Success Routine. And book number 8, No Time for Success, by the man himself, Brandon Boyd. These books are free of download on his website. His website is mastermindwithbrandon.com. So if you are listening, tap into the website. I would tell you do it right now, but we are on the call. But as soon as we done, tap into the website and just look at it, see what you can get from it. This guy is, I'm telling you, he's a titan. Can you get it for purchase?
I give away for free. Yeah, they're ebooks. I used to have the physical books, but it was just too much of a hassle. So I said, you know what? I'm just going to give away all my stuff for free. I have had people actually download the PDFs, print them off, and read them that way and stuff. But it was too expensive to try and order all the books up front. And I was just like, you know what? I'm just going to give my stuff for free. So the thing about the books that I write is not only are they free, they're very short. And the reason why I made them short was that there was a better likelihood that people would actually read them. And let me tell you why. The average person reads 18 pages of a book before they quit. The average book that I have is about 20 pages, maybe 10 to 20. One of them is about 30 or 40. In fact, Dreams of Steel, I think that one's probably 60 or 70. That's the longest one I ever did. So I made them very short. And if anyone has ever watched my trainings, morning motivation is 6 or 7 minutes. Business building training is 10 to 12 minutes. My IM overview that I do on the company is typically 20 to 25 minutes. So everything I do is very short because I want people to digest the information very quickly in a short period of time. It is a much better likelihood that they'll actually make it through. And that's the whole reason why I did it. I did not want to do big, long books because I knew that they would not read the whole book.
How big of a deal is reading to you? I know you just said reading, you rather read than listen to the audio, but how big of a deal is reading like in your life, period? Like when you first got the impact of your first, eye opener.
Oh my gosh. It's funny you mentioned that because I had a story that I wanted to tell. First of all, I never read a book until college. The only book I had ever read before college was the scriptures. And I'd read the scriptures a few times. When I say a few times, like I'd consumed the scriptures. But I didn't want to read books in school like To Kill a Mockingbird and just stupid shit. I mean, stuff like that. And so it wasn't until college, my brother gave me a book and it was called Seed at the Top by Zig Ziglar. Then I got Rich Dad, Poor Dad, Think and Grow Rich, Cash Flow Quadrant, Secrets of the Millionaire Mind. I'm telling you, when I got those books my first year of college, I couldn't put them down. It was either read my biology book or Rich Dad, Poor Dad. I had no interest in my math book, my biology book. By my second year of college, I quit because I was like, man, I just want this information. And so since that time, and that was 1999, I've never stopped. I've consumed books. I read them every day. And here's a testimonial for you guys. I've told my kids for a long time that I wish I had this information starting back in middle school. All right. Because it would have changed my life. Things could have ended up even better had I had that information earlier. So one of my kids, Isabella, now I'll be honest, Isabella's been struggling a little bit with her attitude. She's at the teenager years and she's just been kind of grumpy, defiant, kind of talking back and stuff like that. And I had told the kids, basically what we had set up was, I will pay you to read personal development books. And the reason why is we want to help them earn money, whether it's mowing the lawn or reading books or whatever. But I know the ultimate thing is it's going to grow their mind, right? So they want to earn money. So they have to read the book and take notes, and then they send me the notes. So that way I know that they actually read the book. So yesterday, she got one of the books that I gave to her, and she couldn't put it down. She's writing all these notes, and she's almost 14, and she was just like, this information is just so incredible. And she's done this before. This morning, she was up at 5 a.m. reading the book. Now, keep in mind, this is someone who's 13 years old. She was up at 5 a.m. I thought, what is she doing up so early? She was up reading the book, and she was taking notes. That right there goes to show the effect of doing personal development. So for me, whether it's books or audios, it's 7 days a week. There's never a day that goes by that I do not listen or read something. I absolutely love it. I hated reading before. I didn't want to read books. But what it comes down to is it comes down to the information that you're actually interested in. And that's what really makes a difference as far as reading or listening to an audio. So, you know, kind of like we'd say, well, where would I be today without my relationship with God? Well, I'll tell you, there's plenty of people that they believe in God and they're still depressed. Where would I be today without personal development? The answer is, I don't know. I think I'd still work hard. I'd probably still have great work ethic. I do not know where I'd be today. I can tell you this. I would not make the money that I've made up to today without personal development. That's the bottom line. It has made that much of an impact on my life. I love it. I'll do it the rest of my life, and hopefully it'll continue to rub off on my kids.
Oh man, I'm sure it will. How did that make you feel when you seen your daughter, like
Oh,
through your journey of what you've been through, and you knowing that this is like a tool that can really take her to to the next level? How did that make you
so
feel?
I think that everyone feels good when they see their kids doing good things and when they're trying to develop themselves. There's no greater satisfaction in life than when you see your kids doing things that make you proud. I can tell you there's nothing in my life that is more satisfying of anything with business or anything else than when you see your kids doing things that just make you proud, whether it's on the basketball court or music or reading or something like that. It makes you feel endeared to that child, you know, because you feel like, hey, we're kind of thinking the same way. And so I know that a number of my kids will cultivate that attitude, and others may not express as much interest. That's okay. But it was a really good feeling to see that last night, and I'm excited to see it continue in what it does for that particular child. And then for the others who are younger, because we have some younger kids too, they're already showing interest. In fact, one of my children has not missed a day of their daily chores for 2 years, not a single day. They have a long chores list. They do all of it. They're very motivated, but she reads the scriptures on her own every single day, and she's 8 years old. And I'm just like, wow, that's someone who has drive. That's someone, we're not having to push her to do it. This is something she's doing on her own. Like, that's cool. So it's the example that you set. That you can preach to them all day and tell them what they should do, but the example that you set is really what makes a difference. So it's really neat to see it.
Oh man, I think the details of what you just said just now, because you can talk to a child all day, but the actions are really loud.
Well,
That was amazing.
they will follow what you do, not what you say, because they'll see that you're a hypocrite. If you say something like you need to eat better, and then you're eating like crap, or you need to exercise and you're not exercising. So they can see the hypocrisy in a parent. That's why I remember Zig said, people more attention pay to what you do than to what you say. And so I really try and live what I actually teach them. I can tell you this, they see their dad every day reading and taking notes. They see it. For the rest of their lives, they will remember. I remember my dad sitting at the kitchen table, because I bring them out. I have a couple of books. I bring them to the kitchen table. I read those books. And then here's a key that a lot of people don't know. Every night before they go to bed, we read together. It's typically from the scriptures, okay? We read together. We discuss. I ask questions. We say a prayer, and we put them to bed. Now, that doesn't mean that we're successful every night as far as getting them to bed, but every single night before they go to bed, we have read with them. This is something that they will remember for the rest of their lives, is that this is something that we did as a family. We were together, we read, and I mean, think of how many families are even together. I mean, so they're going all over the place and they're just kind of scattered. This is something that I do every single night. My wife is there, the kids are there, and it really does make a difference.
Oh man, that's super inspiring, big bro, for real, man. It helps me, just with what I'm doing and being a father. Um, what has been the biggest change you ever made that you were most proud of yourself?
Um, I would say it was balancing family and business. So a number of years ago, probably over 10 years ago, what I found is that there was a period of time where I was out of balance. Meaning when you're trying to hit goals financially and stuff like that, sometimes other things take a back seat. And I will say this, sometimes there's a season of your life, kind of like if you're going to become an attorney, a doctor, a dentist, or whatever, that you're just super busy trying to get to that point. The biggest change I made was making my family a priority. And I am good at balancing things like the family time, my wife time, my health time, my spiritual time, and stuff like that. But I really started putting my family as a very strong priority in my life, that no amount of money and success can compensate for failure in the home. So I did a training called How to Become a Millionaire and Keep Your Family. Now, if you don't have a family, it's how to become a millionaire and still have a good personal life, you know? And so that's one of those things where I made a change where I said, no, my family's my priority. I don't care what rank I'm chasing. I don't care what I'm trying to chase as far as my investments. At the end of the day, one day I'm going to pass away. I don't want to leave a legacy of he cared more about work than us. I want my wife to know she's number one. I want my kids to know that they are very, very important in my life, and I want to show them by actions. And so that's a change that was significant for me. It was not easy to make that change, especially if you're in this industry. It's more calls, more meetings, more Zooms, more videos, contact. It's like you're constantly doing stuff. Once I get to this rank, I'm going to get my health in order. Once I get my money where it needs to be, that's when I'm going to work on my relationship. And what you realize is you're actually pushing those things away, because it's not like you ever reach this arrival point. Okay, I've arrived. It doesn't. Even with where I'm at today, I've made millions of dollars. Okay, there's not just an arrival point where I can just sit back and rest and do nothing, you know? So you can be successful, but you can also keep that relationship or relationships going along the way. So that's a big thing that a lot of people struggle with, that I changed luckily early on, and that I've really mastered it today. I segment that time. So that was a big change. I know that's a long answer to what you gave, but it's because it was such a significant change that it took a lot of discipline to make that happen.
Mm, mm. Yeah, man. Are you an introvert or extrovert?
I'm actually introverted. I had to force myself to become an extrovert. I was definitely more to myself. I didn't want to really talk to anybody. I'd rather sit behind a phone and just, text if I had to. I'd rather be on stage in front of 15,000 people than have to go shake everybody's hands and talk to them, though I do that anyway. But kind of deep down inside, I'm definitely more introverted. I'm actually fine if I'm to myself. If I'm to myself, maybe I'm studying. So I tend to be more introverted than I am extroverted.
Oh man, nice. Have you ever been unable to sleep? And what do you do with your time then?
There was a period of time, probably in my mid-20s, I was having a hard time sleeping at night, and I can tell you it's because I was stressed. It was financial stress. They say it literally can keep you up at night. It did. I had financial stress, and I had a hard time sleeping. During that time, I actually took sleep aids, which, by the way, I don't tell everyone, hey, take sleep aids, but I did take it for a period of time. Why don't I need sleep aids today? Because I have 6 children. Okay. So I don't need sleep aids today because they put me right to sleep through exhaustion.
Right.
As far as what I did about it, I took sleep aids. One thing that I'd like to tell you guys that I think is really important for you to understand is that you need rest. All right. People are like, I'm grinding. You're going to ruin your health, and you're going to burn yourself out and probably eventually quit. I do not know what's more important in my life than quality sleep, because that quality sleep affects every area of my life, including my relationship with my wife. So today, I really value my sleep time. I try and get to bed at a reasonable time. You know, I get out. It's the whole, you know, Jesus said early to bed, early to rise. You know, it's just like I try and get to bed at a good time. I know it's hard for a lot of people. Hey, I'm a night owl and I like to stay up later. I'm trading the markets or whatever. For me, that sleep time is really, really important. I value it more today than I ever did before, because as far as grinding, the grind is better and more enjoyable when you feel rested.
Mm. How easy is it for you to block out the noise? Like the distractions?
The distractions are social media. So I don't watch TV. I watch an occasional game, like I've watched the, you know, NFL playoffs and stuff like that. But on my social media, I'll tell you one of the best things I've done. And I don't recommend this to everybody, but what was a weakness to me early on was scrolling through my news feed a lot. So whether it's your news feed or it's like Yahoo News was another one of those, you're continuing to hit the refresh button to get kind of the latest updates, whether it's ESPN or Yahoo News or whatever.
Yes, sir.
I'm not saying that you shouldn't look at your feed. I mean, if people aren't looking at the feed, then no one's going to get likes or comments or shares and stuff like that. But it was a weakness for me to kind of scroll through my feed. So now what I do is I typically don't look at my feed unless somebody's tagging me on something, just because I need to check it out and make sure to see what I was tagged on. So that saves me a lot of time. I don't really have any other distractions than that, because I've eliminated anything that could be a distraction. I'm not doing TV. You know, I don't watch TV. I don't look at my social media news feed. On YouTube, I'll have videos play in the background where I'll watch something or I'll hear something. But honestly, I don't think I have any other distractions that keep me from where I need to go.
Mm.
What that means, though, is that I'm really laser focused, man. I mean, I would say most people, they just waste a lot of time. If they're working 8 hours, we know they're not really working 8 hours. I think that a lot of people are just kind of chilling. They're kind of scrolling. They're updating they're checking their bank account. They're checking their email. They're checking their notifications. They're checking their comments. And when you really get to the end of the day, let's be real. What did they actually do today? And for most people, they didn't really do much of anything. And as Jim Rohn would say, you were busy, but the question is, busy doing what? There's a difference between being busy and being productive. I think that most people are in a mode of, like, they are a spectator, not a participant. They're not participating in life. They are a spectator. They're watching people win. They're watching other people's stories, but they themselves are not really participating. If you were to set your phone aside and say, I've got to get this stuff done. I've got to remove the distractions. It could be video games. It could be too many TV shows, or whatever your weakness is. It's not just removing them from your life, but at least tuning them out for a period of time so that you can laser focus on one thing.
Mm. I got a good one for you right now, big bro. BB, I got one for you right now, BB. What would be your thought process if you were presented with irrefutable evidence that a God didn't exist?
Well, I was a missionary for 2 years, so I got presented with that, a couple of times. People brought stuff to us. Let me tell you this. Faith is one of those things where faith is being able to trust God even when you don't understand. There are certain things that we can prove or disprove or whatever. My faith is unshakable. I have seen too much evidence of God in my life that I cannot dispute. Let me share something with you guys. It's actually pretty personal. I've never shared this ever on social media. Okay. When I was doing church work and I was basically sharing the gospel, when I looked to the right and I saw my companion at the time, there was an angel that was standing next to my companion. That was probably about 6'4". And this angel was watching my companion bear testimony about God. Now, that was one of those things that I had never seen anything like that before. but that was not a coincidence. It was not just something that was a hallucination. It's something I saw with my own eyes. I went home and I actually drew a picture of it, which I still have today. And so to me, there is an existence of God. And then there would be plenty of, well, here's some evidence as to why there's not a supreme being or creator. To be honest, I really don't care, because I'm not really worried about if somebody has, here's some evidence as to why there's not a creator, and then here's evidence why there is. The evidence is my own life. The evidence is my children. The evidence is my wife. The evidence is the love that I feel. The evidence is when I look outside of my office and I see the mountains, I see the trees, I see how my heart is beating. I see how the body functions in my fingers and that I can walk every day, that the body is healing itself. That is the evidence. For anyone who says that there's not evidence, they haven't seen a child be born. When my first son, Carson, was born 17 years ago, and he came out and I held him in my hands, I'm telling you, I got emotional. I had tears coming down my cheeks, and I remember saying at the time, I know, like Job said, that my Redeemer lives, that God lives. And that was the strongest, that was even more so than seeing an angel, was when my son was born, the first child. I knew that God lives and that there is a creator, that there is a purpose to this life that we are living right now. And that was a powerful witness to me. So I don't really care if somebody were to try and give some irrefutable evidence, because the evidence that I told you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That was strong. Now I'm gonna hit you with the one after. What would be your thought process if you were presented with irrefutable evidence that a God did exist?
Well, it's nice to have as much evidence as you can get, right? Like, it's one thing to have faith, and then it's another thing if they then can provide some evidence to that faith. I think that all that does is it strengthens the faith that you have. But here's what I can tell you. The testimony that you gain, your own personal witness, and a feeling and conviction that you get, to me, is stronger than any evidence that can be given. Because we know from scripture that there was plenty of people who essentially saw the Lord and then they still went the other direction. So that evidence alone is not enough. It is that spiritual witness, is that faith, it is that conviction, it is that feeling, that confirmation that you have. Some people call it the Holy Spirit and stuff like that, that you get for yourself, that you know what you believe is true.
Amen, man. Amen. That was deep, big bro. That was real. Presented with the opportunity to be immortal, would you take it?
Immortal? I think great. I think it'd be great, because if someone is immortal, a lot of the pains that we suffer here in mortality, physical pain, emotional pain, stuff like that, so I think that would be a wonderful thing. I wouldn't turn it down, put it that way.
You say, some people, man, I asked a couple people that question, and some feel like at some point they don't mind checking out. Like, I don't mind checking out at some point.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
like this life thing is good. I want to do some things, but at some point, we'll check out. That's
yeah.
a real funny one.
If something happened right now and I were to pass away, I'm not afraid, because whether it's this life or another, I'm actually okay with it, because I'm at peace knowing that I'm doing the best I can each and every day to be a good husband, a good father, a good spiritual leader, a good business person. If I passed away today, I'm actually okay with it, to be honest, because it's that whole, the talents. You didn't bury your talent. You maximize the talent that's been given to you. And that's what I'm trying to do each and every day.
You're ready, man. You are real, like, oh man, big bro. It's like you got to come with it if you're going against big bro, man. I'm telling you, because he's not backing down. If you could go anywhere in the world right now, where would it be?
I've been to 40 countries. Europe is fun, but to be honest, the place I've really enjoyed the most is actually Hawaii. Going to Maui, and part of it's because I like the temperature, kind of the tropical, land and stuff like that. Europe was great, but I mean, if I went anywhere, out of all the places I've been to, going to Maui has been my favorite. I have not been to Dubai yet. I heard that's pretty amazing. New Zealand, a couple of those. So I'll eventually go to some of those places, probably here in the next 1 or 2 years. But right now, Maui has been my favorite place that I've been to.
What's the closest you've been to being arrested or detained?
When I stole something from a store. It's we were kids, and back in the day we used to collect baseball cards, and we actually stole cards from a card shop, and so needless to say, we got in some trouble.
Yes.
We actually did community service, so
every cause has an effect, right?
yeah. I mean, the thing is, you just don't understand the consequences when you're younger. I made mistakes just like everybody else, and we did stuff that today we look back and laugh, like that was actually pretty funny, man. It was just funny, some of those things that we did. So,
oh man, beautiful, man, beautiful. If you had a genie grant you 3 wishes right now, what would it be?
I would say first would be perfect health, meaning no pain, because sometimes with your health and stuff, you just kind of get different pains in life. So I'd like perfect health, no worries about money, which I would say I'm to a point right now where I wouldn't say I worry about money, but just sustaining what you're doing. So no worries about money. And then I would say perfect harmony within my family. So the kids getting along and there's peace there. So basically it'd be like perfect health, no worries about money at all, including my investments. Because, with investments, it's like one day you'd be like, all right, man, things are happening. And then stuff is coming down. You're like, oh my gosh, so sometimes just worries there. And then number 3 is just perfect harmony within my family life, because sometimes that can be stressful with a big family. It can be a little bit stressful. You're dealing with different emotions and school and friends and stuff like that. And that can sometimes make life a little difficult.
Yes, sir. What's the most spontaneous thing you've done this year?
Well, I mean, we just started. Spontaneous is I went on eBay and I spent tens of thousands of dollars in a single day.
Oh man, see?
It was because I wanted to. I'm the kind of person that when I make a decision, I just kind of go all the way. And so one day I had this idea and I was like, I want some of this stuff. It was sports memorabilia. I've collected it for years. Anyway, so I went on eBay and I spent literally thousands and thousands of dollars in a single day on eBay. So, and I've done it before, but so far this year, that's the most spontaneous thing I've done. And I didn't even ask my wife for permission either. So,
oh, that's pretty spontaneous there,
I
buddy.
did it. And when I told her, she was like, "Hey, you deserve it." So,
oh man, now that's what's up, man. That's what's up. We usually do 5 for 5, right? Like like Wendy's 4 for 4. You go get a 4 for 4.
yeah.
We do 5 for 5. So, you're gonna answer, 5 answers to the 5 questions.
Okay.
What's your top 5 movies?
Definitely the Rocky movies. The Rocky movies have had most influence on my life. I'd say. I mean, I can name you the movies right off the top of my head. So it's basically it's The Last Dance with Michael Jordan that was put out in 2020. That really had an effect on me as well. But those inspirational kind of classic movies are the ones that I like the most.
Top five sports. Top
Football.
five sports teams. Let's go sports teams.
For college football, Nebraska. Pro football, the Broncos, because I liked John Elway and Peyton Manning. Chicago Bulls with Michael Jordan, which I don't really follow them anymore. New York Rangers for hockey. That's pretty much it. I don't really like any other teams.
That was real. Top five TV shows.
Well, I don't really watch TV anymore. But when I did, people will laugh at me, but the show that I enjoyed watching was Dr. Phil, because I enjoyed watching the people that he interviewed because it was kind of comical. I do have to admit I watched The Bachelor for a number of seasons, and The Bachelorette, American Idol, America's Got Talent, and Dancing with the Stars. And then there was the other dancing. What was the other dancing one? They had all sorts of people come on. It was
with the mask and stuff on.
It was So You Think You Can Dance. So those were, I enjoyed watching those shows. They were fun.
Yeah,
but that's one of those things that I had to kind of give up because it was fun to watch them. But what I realized was, man, this is taking up a lot of time. And so I made a decision, like I did, kind of like the eBay thing, where just rash. I said, I'm going to stop. And of course I had withdrawals, and I was like, man, I really wish I could watch the shows and see what's happening next. But it's just been so long now that I don't care. So
top five songs.
To be honest, I don't even listen to a lot of music. I hear it. I don't really listen to it very much. I'm trying to think. My favorite songs would be just kind of motivational songs. So even stuff from like the Rocky movies, songs from documentaries that are inspiring, even the music from The Last Dance. I can't really say, hey, this particular song is my favorite because I just don't really listen to music very much.
Top five gym songs.
In our gym, they play a lot of the kind of rock music as well as pop, pop songs, popular songs today. I don't pay attention to them because I go work out with Dr. Lee, and he and I talk to our workout. I don't pay attention to the music.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Top five books.
So on my site, mastermindwithbrandon.com, under the book section, I actually listed my favorite books, and I've actually got them categorized. Right off the top of my head, if I had a book to give to somebody today, it'd be Ed Milet, called Max Out Your Life. So that book's on there, Max Out Your Life, Secrets of the Millionaire Mind, which I would even recommend that over even Think and Grow Rich because it's newer. The Secret, not everyone's into the law of attraction, but that book had a profound effect on my life. Rich Dad, Poor Dad, Cash Flow Quadrant. So you'll see my top recommended books actually on that section on my site there.
That was dope, man. That 5 for 5. That was quick though. You was swift with it, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that was cool. That was cool.
Somebody had asked down here, Life Now 2022 had asked about the genre. So I grew up listening to rock and roll from the 80s and 90s, Aerosmith, Poison, Metallica. I enjoyed that. So basically be hard rock and rock is really what I was into. I wasn't really into rap. I heard the pop songs, but it was really more of kind of the classic rock music. Again, stuff that was like motivating.
All right. What are 3 things you value most about a person?
Their character, who they are as a person, that they're honest, that they have integrity. Those things to me is the most important thing, because what does the other stuff matter if they're not a person of character, if they just lie all the time, if they don't have integrity? Those are the things that I don't even care what a person is doing and what they present to me. What I really care about is who's the person. So I'm looking more of the source of the person more so than what they're actually talking to me about.
That's me. Hey, big bro, man. I tell you, man, is there anything that you want to leave us off with or give a shout out to look him right in the camera, give it
Yeah.
straight to him.
Well, first of all, I'm grateful you've had me on this, and I will end with something that I think hopefully you guys can take away. I was telling my mom yesterday, first of all, if you got a parent and hopefully you have a good relationship, you know, you never know how long they're going to be around. You know, you talk to them often, you know. So I called my mom, asked her how she was doing, and she asked me a question, and we were going through stuff, and I wanted to kind of share it with you as well. Life can be really a challenge. I mean, it can smash you in the face over and over. It will knock you to the canvas. But the thing is that you've got to just build up inside of you that I will attack life. I will go after life. Life will not defeat me. I don't care how much comes at me. I will not allow life to conquer me, because no weapon formed against you will prosper, that you will win, that abundance is your birthright. And it's important for you to understand that each and every day you get that choice to wake up and to be happy, to choose to create your life, the kind of life that you want to live. But you've got to attack your life and attack the day. Don't do things in survival mode. Don't just get through the day. You got to become elite. You know, you want to be remembered as a person that made a contribution to mankind, somebody that really made an impact, somebody that really made a difference. And that's what I'm doing every day. And that's why I do everything with such energy and passion, is because if I don't, then life will beat me down and it will keep me there, you know? And so each and every day that I get up, I'm going all out to give it my best. In my mind, I'm always thinking of myself as a younger person, someone in their early 20s that has the energy, the life, and the passion. I just want to be different and uncommon. And to be uncommon and to be different is you have to go after life with everything that you've got. Don't be in survival mode. Life is not about surviving. It's about thriving. It's about being abundance, making a difference. So, you know, those are the things that I have to say to you guys, and hopefully you can take it away and apply it to your life. And then it can make a difference for you in all the areas of your life. And the last thing I'll say is focus on what I call whole life success. Your health, your finances, your relationships, and all that. The financial stuff, it comes and goes. Money comes and goes, right? And it's important. It's a very important part of our life. But focus on becoming whole life successful. And then you'll have that peace that you're balancing the areas of your life that are the most important.
Big bro, I definitely want to say I appreciate you, man. I keep saying big bro because the last name is bold, man. Like all my life, they attached it to me. Like I couldn't just be Michael. I had to be Michael Boyd.
Yeah.
I know you went through the same trials and tribulations. Thank you for sending the ladder down. I know that, you know, it's a lot more work to be put in. Let's keep going. I appreciate you, big bro, for definitely coming through and showing your face and showing love, man. Different walks of life, but at the same time, I admired everything you did as far as the discipline and, you know, taking your wife out for 11 years straight every weekend, things like that, making sure your kids see you every day and you're not working a job or have to be pulled by something. Like I said, you take on the distractions different, and that's why I needed you here today to do what you do and drop the knowledge on everybody else. And I appreciate you, big bro.
Yeah.
Thank you, man.
I appreciate you too, guys. Thanks for having me on. And if anyone ever needs help with stuff or you need some advice, reach out to me, Brandon Boyd Official on Instagram, and would love to help you out. So I appreciate you having me on, and looking forward to coming back on here again.
Mastermindwithbrandon.com.
Okay. Talk to you guys
Bro,
soon.
thank you, man.